Today I'm working on a 2007 Cadillac CVS. It's pulling a P0301 number 1 misfire. That'd be this coil right here. You can't test a secondary ignition on this thing very good because there's a big fat intake manifold in the way, and you got to take the intake off just to get the coil out to be able to test it that way. So it's got an intermittent misfire on number 1. It's not all the time. I got these 6 bolts off the top, and there was like an 18 millimeter down in here that I took off just so I could get this thing loose and kind of sneak that thing out of the way. And I didn't see any carbon tracking or anything. The plugs, they're a little bit worn. Just a little. So I think what I'm going to do is just throw a part at it. I was thinking I was just going to sneak that intake off and take that coil out and slop another one back in there, but this thing's got a paper gasket in between the upper intake. I don't know if you can see it in there. All the good stuff is usually plastic and rubber, but this one's paper, and since I pulled it up, I don't know if that thing's even going to be in one piece, so I'm not just going to sneak it in and out of there. I'm going to take the upper intake off. I'll do a tune-up to it and put a coil in it and hope that works, and if it doesn't, then I'll do something else. I don't like throwing parts at cars, but this one I'm going to do it anyways. So yeah, you get to watch me take an intake manifold off. This back bolt you can't get out, so I put a vice grip on it just to kind of hold it up a little bit so it's kind of out of the way. And these are pretty straightforward. They're pretty simple. I'm sure there's other YouTube videos on it and stuff too, but I'm going to do mine anyways. Here we go. There's a little tab on here. Got to pull that out of the way. Get that out. Down and dirty, quick and easy. Yeah, this gasket moved and got all busted up on me. So I'm glad I took that off. Alright. Yeah, these these coil connectors are pretty easy to get. You just get in there with a hook tool or a screwdriver and you pry this out. And while you do, it should pull itself right out just like that. No big deal. Yeah, I just took this one out. Didn't want to come out. And the boot's stuck in the hole. It's actually melted right onto the spark plug. I'm going to have to get in there with a pick or something and try to get the thing out. I guess I'll see what it looks like when I get it out. Yep, this is screwed. I just tried to stick that in there and give it a twist. It didn't want to come out. That's what I'm dealing with. So I got to take that apart don't know, I'll just keep picking away at it and get all the pieces out of there. It's definitely melted onto that plug. Never before have I seen a spark plug boot melted like that. There's a little oil down in the cylinder, or down in the spark plug hole. That might have something to do with it. Maybe that spark plug's loose. I don't know. Nice, huh? Yeah, I took the boot off of the bad coil and put it on this coil. So I guess I'll just reuse it. All that oil went down into the cylinder. I'm going to hit it with brake cleaner a little bit just to clean it up. I can't see why there'd be oil in there. Unless the bottom of that tube is leaking. I'm going to run it. Yep, the one next was just as lovely. This one actually came out. There's a little bit of oil down in that cylinder, just a little bit. Figure 100,000 miles. Yeah, that ain't so bad, really. I mean, it's leaking, but I'm going to run it. Yeah, the little spring inside of there is stuck on the spark plug too. There's supposed to be a spring in there. I'll put that back in the hole. Yeah, I got a number 1 misfire and I'm finding problems with 3 and 5 so far. Yeah, I'm going to run it. If it's got any more misfires on any of these other cylinders though, I'm just going to have to start replacing a bunch of coils. Now, number 1, I got a junkyard coil for this. It was like 20 bucks. You buy a new one, they're about $50, $60. And what I do, anytime I got a misfire, I took this out of number 4 over here. I took this coil out and I put it over on number 1. Because if I got another number 1 misfire, I'm going to know it's not this coil, and I'm going to know it's not a coil that I bought and replaced. And I'm going to put this on number 3, because if I have a problem with this coil, that one can come out without taking the upper intake off. So I'm doing this trying to, you know, be smart about it. Here's another minor issue. These little tabs that hold the gasket down, they're in upside down, so I got to pop those out without wrecking this thing and put them back in. Yeah, I ended up putting a 7mm around here so I can push it out and use the 5 on the other side to push it in. Thanks a lot, Felpro. Looks like the only thing I got to plug in before I put this thing on is this back plug right here, because you can't get at it. Everything else I think I can get at. Yeah, this back bolt right here that you can barely see, you're going to need one of these 1/4 inch 13mm swivel socket. You can probably get one at Sears or something. It seems to be the only thing I can get in there without taking this whole wiper cowl off. It works pretty good. I got it. Anything else, I don't see how you're going to get down in there. Okay, now I got to put back together. All I got to do now is start it up and get some mosquito patrol going on here with all the smoke that's going to come out of the exhaust, and wait till it clears up and then see if it's still misfiring.